just want to be on record that there's more beautiful women in Morgan Hill than I thought there was. Not just because the cops are trying to run a psyop on me using, attractive women or whatever. Basically, follow me with attractive women, which is doing several things at the same time, including a psychological operation. What else? Oh yeah. Some of the people that chose to side with the enemy for whatever reason, I forgive them. They aren't that bad, like some of the homeboys with the biz, for instance, keep busy, doing their thing. And some other cats, with the black power tattoos and whatnot. Some other cats, I don't really blame them for their role in the game. On a deeper level, of course, there's a level where I'm upset about it, but it's just what it is, And even Rahel, I'd say, because I know she's a fucking idiot and she does dumb shit, and letting the enemy convince her to try to say some shit to the effect of setting me up is some of that dumb shit. I'm a real rider. I go down for what I believe, and that's all that really matters, right? We're gonna live once. I don't really want to take shots at anybody, really. Even the homosexuals I don't approve of, and the feminists. If it was, it's them and history and the word and the world. Everything put together makes it so I have to do something. The proletarian is suffering. The vampires are getting over on them. The capitalists, the neocolonialists, the nepotists, the cultural imperialists. If I don't do something, who will? The political groups that are owned by them. Excuse me. You mean the lobby groups that are in Rockefeller's pocket? Oh, my bad. I stand. The UN that Rockefeller sits on. Or the Council on Foreign Relations that is bootlicks to Rockefeller. What institution doesn't he own? Of course, he owns the liberals in charge, because what he's trying to do is progressive, liberal, ideas. I'm sick of listening to the jackass and the fucking fat elephant. They're both a bunch of idiots, and they roll with a bunch of idiots. And I'm the great Sagiti. They want to be the great Sagiti, but they're just a fat elephant. I'm the great Sagiti. And I got no problem with people who are bigger and nothing like that, Under the right circumstances, yeah, a bigger guy would have the upper hand. In open combat or in the streets, walking down the street or something, the martial artist has the upper hand. As soon as you go to the ground, you're both getting scraped up and you're both losing anyway, Stop pretending that, this Greco-Roman wrestling makes somebody the greatest fighter in the world. I'd like to see that Brazilian guy take on somebody, wearing steel-toe boots or something. Or take on somebody in Adidas, Capoeista in Adidas, right? If he doesn't get that takedown, he's going to get knocked out, It's just about who gets to do the technique first. And when your technique's quicker, you got the upper hand and a story. And if you have reach, which certain ethnic groups have more than others, you also have the upper hand. But it doesn't mean that it's the end of the story. There's other things that go into it as well. But just having that little edge makes one people a greater fighting force than another. You see what I mean? Unless they all trained to find a way around that, they all train with samurai swords and advanced armor or something, then what are they going to do? Unless they come up with bombs and guns, what are they going to do? So when we're talking about fair combat, okay, which matters to people like me who are historians, sociologists, interested in psychology and psychiatry and researched that for many years, people like me don't want anything twisted. Period. 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 You understand me? So when you say, you make it seem like, this race had great warriors. The greatest warriors were the black Africans, then we'll go from there. You can talk about everyone else after that. But keep in mind, they're the greatest warriors. I wouldn't want to go toe-to-toe with them. You wouldn't want to go toe-to-toe with them. Bruce Lee wouldn't want to go toe-to-toe with them. So you better wake up. Even in his own movies, you can see in the Game of Death, he wouldn't have won unless they did some weird eye, like, he's a savage, or he's an animal, or he's some kind of beast, and we can outsmart him, and we can use God's light to get over. But in reality, the big black guy who does the Mantu arts has the upper hand, whether he's stick fighting in Ethiopia, whether he's grappling and boxing in Nubia or in Angola, whether he's an Igbo Uku warrior in Nigeria, whether he's a Zulu warrior in South Africa, whether he's an ancient Egyptian trainer, whether, in Egypt, whether he's a Libyan, who sided with them, whether he's from Sierra Leone, Whether he's from Uganda, whether he's from Eritrea. In the end, the Mantu artists in the country, in the dark continent, in the motherland, has the upper hand in the ring, and anybody who says otherwise is a fool, is a liar, is a cheat, and should be executed for treason to God and humanity, and especially history, because that's the biggest offense he does. Of course, he's offending those things that I mentioned before, and those are more important. But history is the greatest thing the greatest wrong he's done. Because God will find a way around it. He'll get over all this. But once you mess up history, sometimes there's no going back. Thank you.